Friday, May 2nd, 2025. A reading from the Commentary on the Apocalypse by St. Beatus of Liebana. And I saw in the midst of the throne, and around the throne, 4 living creatures full of eyes in front and behind. Revelation 4:6. The 4 living creatures signify the 4 evangelists, because, being full of eyes in front and behind, it seems that they contain the mysteries of God, both past and future. The first has the form of a lion, the second of an ox, the third of a man, the fourth of an eagle. A question arises: how are these 4 living creatures both in the midst of the throne and also around the throne? These locations must be understood spiritually, because it would be an error to understand them according to the letter. Now, it had previously been said that Christ was sitting in the midst of the throne, and around the throne were the elders, but now the living creatures are in these places. If you apply the ear of your heart, you will know all these things to be spiritual, because they are said solely about the head and the members. The throne where Christ sits is the church, and the living creatures are said to be in the midst of the throne and around it. This means that the Gospels are in the midst of the church and also in the elders. How can the living creatures and the elders both be around the throne unless they are one and the same? The strength of the church is shown in the lion, as it is said, "Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has conquered." Revelation 5:5. In the second animal, it is shown how the church is strong, for the ox is a sacrificial victim. The third shows how it is both lion and ox. It has the face of a man. Revelation 4:7. This speaks of the humility of the church, which, as it has the adoption of the sons of God, seems to be like a man possessing nothing but humanity, as it is said of the Lord, though he was in the form of God, he emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, and being found in human form, he humbled himself, and became obedient unto death. Philippians 2:6-8. These 3 living creatures are completed in the 4th, which is like a flying eagle. In this eagle there is nothing earthly, unless it concerns him who was strong in his passion like a lion, who offered himself once as a holocaust like an ox, and who is rational and was sent forth to perform his work as a man. In Ezekiel, through the Holy Spirit of prophecy, these flying winged creatures are subtly described, so that they signify the persons of the evangelists, as is shown by the beginnings of each gospel. Because he begins with a human genealogy, Matthew is rightly signified by a man. Because he begins with the crying in the wilderness, Mark is rightly signified by a lion. Because he begins with a sacrifice, Luke is rightly signified by an ox. And because he begins with the divinity of the Word, John is rightly signified by an eagle. And because all the elect are members of our Redeemer, as he is the head of all, there is nothing wrong if he himself is signified by these living creatures. By being born he is made a man, by dying an ox, by rising a lion, and by ascending to heaven an eagle.